Good morning. My name is Gifty Andrapia and welcome to News Desk. I am sitting in for Kemni Nyamani Amano, your regular host. Let me quickly take you through our headlines for this edition of News Desk. Today we'll be looking at Galamsey in the Eastern region. President Mahama has tagged Tibi as the headquarters of Galamsey. We'll engage that issue. We'll get what the Ochihene's office think about this situation. Now, the Rage Hospital expansion, Acquah wants $306 million project probed. That's quite a lot of money there. We'll go to Acquah and get their thoughts on that. Why do they want it probed? Of course, we'll find out from them what their thoughts are. 2013 WASI rankings, Prempeh, Infantimai, Achimota, Presec, Brigels out of top 10. It's quite interesting. I know a lot of people are very passionate about this issue. People who actually went through these schools are very passionate, but it appears that the rankings keep dropping. We will comprehensively engage the issue of ranking as far as senior high schools are concerned and their performance in the WASI. We'll talk to Paka Alote, he's head of PR at the Ghana Education Service, and we'll also talk to Hamid Afar, who is an educationist, for some insights there. You know about contract killings? Well, something that we're all suspecting, or something that has some kind of semblance to contract killing that's happening in the country lately. We will be engaging that issue. We'll find out exactly why is it happening, and in these times, whether we should be worried. Of course we should be worried, and so we'll further engage that issue. But let me start off with this contract killing. Yeah, there's news all over. This morning it has been in all the headlines that a 55-year-old businessman was shot dead very close to his house. And if you recall, Fenikochiri, who manages Acquah of Acquah, who is an entertainer, was also shot and killed in his house. Well, investigations autopsy have indicated that he wasn't actually shot. We don't know the details of that, but I'm just saying that as a background to things that have happened that are similar to these killings. You also recall, well, I'm getting information that Acquah's manager was stabbed, actually. And you also recall Rosemary, who was a worker at the Stanbic Bank, who was also killed at her house. It's quite worrying also that it happens to be going on around a particular area in the Tema metropolis, if you like, also around the Spintex area. So that's the very, very first issue. We'll bring you some more details, but let's talk to Olivia Tess. ASP Olivia Texan was going to help us dissect this issue of contract killing, or this issue, if you like, because we can't say readily that it is contract killing, but she was going to help us engage that issue. We lost her on the phone line. Let me take a very quick break, and when we return, we'll make sure that we get her on the line, and then we engage the issue. Please stay with us. Yeah, welcome back. It is News Desk, and the issue that we're engaging right now is something that a lot of people are suspecting to be contract killing. Let me tell you how the newspapers have been reporting on this issue. This morning, the Heritage said two very horrible separate incidents that have traits of contract killing involving the murder of a 55-year-old man and another killing and a burying of a 35-year-old man have sent shivers down the spine of residents of Tema Community 4 and Mampo Kwapim in the Eastern region, respectively. Now, the man who died in Tema, whose name has been given as Samuel Dennis Ayiba, is a 55-year-old businessman, as I mentioned earlier, and he was shot and killed yesterday when two unidentified gunmen allegedly stormed his residence at Tema. On the line now is ASP Olivia Texan, who is a Tema police PRO. Good morning to you, madam.
Good morning, ma'am.
What can you tell us further about this incident?
Yeah, just as you rightly said, we received a complaint that some armed men have shot a businessman around 44, and that the businessman lost his life in the process. We have also monitored the radio, and we hear comments coming from your section. Some are saying there might still be cured and whatnot. But I want to say that insecurity is too strong a word to use.
Okay.
It rather sends shivers in the spine of people. Instead, I would say we see it as a challenge. We see it as a new development. And as police officers and as security officers, we have to go to the drawing board and see how best to tackle this issue. We have devised some strategies which are yielding, and we hope to get the people who committed this act. Some time back, Tema was able to control this highway robbery, bank robbery, car snatching, filling station robbery, and all that. And I must say that we can do it. We can get to the bottom of this whole issue. We are only pleading with the public to support us. They should help us with information flow. And one thing about the public is that when something is happening to a neighbor, they just stand aloof. They are more individualistic, and I am calling on them that these days everybody has a cell phone. Even if you can't get closer to somebody who is holding a weapon, at least from the angle you are standing, you can use your phone to capture some scenes. It could capture the personalities involved. I mean, the criminals, the car they were using, or the motor bicycles they were using, and it will help us make a headway. We are assuring the people of Tema that we have done it before. Yes, this development is a challenge, and we are going to do our best to see to it that this development is reduced. When you look at crime statistics for the past 2 years as compared to last year, which we gave, some of your reporters picked from us, the region had a downward slope in terms of crime statistics, except for probably fraud that appreciated. And so it isn't as if we are sitting down not doing anything.
Now, ASP, let me just quickly find out from you. Now, you're giving assurances, a lot of assurances to the people who live particularly in this catchment area. But can you tell us what the police know about Mr. Aiba, this man who was just shot dead yesterday? Can you tell us what the police know about this whole incident?
All we know is that Mr. Aiba is a businessman who shuttles between Spain and Ghana. And then he came down to visit the family and met this unfortunate incident. We are still picking up pieces of information, and it is still premature for us to comment for now. The homicide team have been in Tema to pick up information as well, and I assure the people that we will make a headway in this development.
Let's do a little retrospection and go back to Rosemary. We know that at a point the police arrested a neighbor of hers who was alleged to have been involved. How far has that investigation gone?
Yeah, the case is before court, and you know, we have to leave it when it goes to court for court to decide on that case. And so, as we speak now, the case is before the law court. Yes.
What about Fene Kotre? What information? The last time we heard about his death, his auntie Esla was saying that from the look of his body, he was not shot as was speculated earlier, and that he was stabbed, apparently stabbed several times. What more can the police say about that?
I am completely lost. Fene Kotre, I don't remember the case very well.
Okay.
But I remember that of the immigration officer, whom we also picked up some people, and the third man, the other banker from Acquah, that one we picked up some pieces of information. But what I want us all to note is that investigations is a process. It is not that as you are investigating within 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, you should be able to complete your investigation. We have picked some lead, and it is not too good for us to put them out there on air. And so all I'll say is we are doing our best. The public should support us. We are encouraging this neighborhood watchdog. They should complement the efforts of police, and they should stop being individualistic. When they see their neighbor in danger, they should do well to call the police hotline, or probably capture some of the things that will help police in our investigations process.
And I think these days people tend to do that quite a lot. These days people have smartphones and they tend to take pictures. And people have actually argued that why not reach out and help these people rather than take photos. And so I think that's already something that's already on course. But let me draw your...
My sister, you see, police are workers such that when police patrol team is on patrol, because the key word is patrol, we are not stationary. So we may be within the same vicinity, but at another angle. If something is happening, let's say lane D, and police is not right there, the community has a role to play. We should not leave all the job on the shoulders of police. We have to work hand in hand with police. They should support us because the public is our stakeholder. It's one of our stakeholders.
Do you have cause to believe that what you are saying right now was not done in Mr. Ayiba's case, and that if it was done, he probably would have been alive?
I want us to take note of this. Most of the times when cases happen like this, immediately people don't come up with information, but later they come and give us information. So we are rather ardent that if indeed you have done that, you should let us have the information. If you have not done it, then you should note that it is good for you to do it because it is going to help us all within the community, within Tema Township and its environment.
Madam Jackson, before I let you go, let me just find out from you. I think after the death of the immigration officer, as you've drawn our attention to, there were security... I think we lost her on the line. But I wanted to find out about security concerns that were raised after the death of the immigration officer, that there could be more of such deaths coming up. And as we can see, just after that immigration officer, Fene Kotre, was gone, and now Mr. Ayiba has followed. Shouldn't we be concerned? And she's trying to assure the people that the security caucus is actually working. But people still seem to be worried. I have absolute confidence in the police that they will protect, they're working to protect the people. But sometimes, of course, anybody at all will be worried about the trend. You're still on News Desk. We've been engaged in the issue of what could be contract killing. When we return, we have some more. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us here on News Desk, and we're back after contract killing. Now we're talking about Galamsey. Actually, the issue about Galamsey seems to have come to stay, but President Mahama has flagged Chebi in the eastern region as the headquarters of illegal mining in the country. Now, according to the president, he flew all the way to the place, and then there's a quotation that's attributed to him. He says that when you look down at the extent of damage caused to the land on our water bodies, you will feel sorry, and that he feels sorry for you will feel sorry if you are a Ghanaian. Well, he flew to Chebi from the Afram Plains district and said the activities of illegal mining were an impediment to efforts that are being made to protect water bodies. But over the years, there's been numerous efforts by both government and traditional authorities to stem the devastating impact of illegal mining activities in the region. Generally, what has happened to these efforts and what's the way forward? Now, joining me on the line, we will be talking to Nana Yentumi Buama, who is from the Ochihene's office. But now joining me on the line is Ronald Abraham, who is coordinator of program at the Densu River Basin and the Water Resources Commission. Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir. Welcome to News Desk.
Yeah.
Now, tell us, what has been, I can imagine the extent of damage that has been caused to this water, because here at Joynews we've done a lot of work about the pollution that has been caused to the water. How does this affect your work at the Water Resources Commission?
Well, it's very, very appalling when you look at the level of devastation of water resources. Currently, within 4 regions, the Central region, Eastern region, Central, and the Western region, are the worst places where Galamsey has actually polluted. We look at it as a form of physical pollution, and we should not allow ourselves to get to this stage at all. Unfortunately, we have allowed foreigners to invest into this kind of what we used to call small-scale mining, which hitherto didn't actually engage the services of excavation. But people use their hoes and machetes and pickaxe to do this kind of thing. Now it has assumed a very alarming state. And when you look at the situation on the ground, it is more than what any one institution, regulatory institution, can cope with. So in the right direction, the government actually instituted Operation Halt, which I think did a lot of good to this nation. We are part of the task force process because the Water Resources Commission is represented on the Committee on Land and Natural Resources. And we are together collaborating with other institutions and then the National Security Council to really solve the problem. There has been the first thing to deal drastically with it, and this involved the deployment of military personnel and some police or security personnel to really tackle the issue. A lot of foreigners were asked to go back to their country, and some excavators that were, or machines or equipment that were taken, in our estimation as a committee, should have been confiscated outright. But given the kind of diplomatic relationship that is existing between Ghana and China especially, and some of the equipment has to be released. But we have also argued around the table that the next thing, which is very close to happening, should confiscate every equipment outright, because that will cripple any effort to continue to destroy our water system. At this day and age, where we are talking about water and energy, we should break away from pollution. We should disallow foreigners from investing into this kind of process, where we are going to deprive ourselves of water, because some water production facilities by the Ghana Water Company have been closed down because of this situation. And we should bring ourselves to this level. No matter what any regulatory institution or any national security effort will do, we need the support and cooperation from the public. That we should not give up our citrus farms, we shouldn't give up our cocoa farms, and then follow quick money. Because anything you get quickly can fizzle out quickly from whatever you have actually gotten out of it. And we should be interested in growing our system slowly but cautiously and then sustainably. Anything which is not sustainable, mining can give you money quickly because people are standing by with money. But then, within a short while, all the money is gone, and you have destroyed your...
I am pretty sure, Mr. Abraham, that the people who are engaged in these illegal mining activities are very much aware. One issue which is critical, though, it is the role of the institutions that are mandated to protect these water bodies, and the Water Commission, I believe, is one. Now, you've been able to explain to us the extent of damage. Where were the institutions when these people started creeping in?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier on, given the current situation, we have been regulating, we have been chasing. You know, when we talk about mining, it doesn't only refer to the minerals or gold or bauxite, it's also relating to farming and then even drawing ground own as a regulatory institution, we have been chasing stand-winners and people who are doing parallel with the military. We have had occasions where we had to hire the services of military police, and this is very expensive. And in my estimation, it is more than what any regulatory institution can pay, because when you get to the military, their services are not free. If you engage in military police for a day, you pay 570. If you multiply it by several days, you know, it's a big issue, and all our resources and our gains or whatever we get out of the water use permitting cannot actually cope with this situation. So we have tried as much as possible to be drastic with mining activities, which is actually destroying our water bodies, but it hasn't been enough. And government has also instituted this kind of operation halt, which has tried as much as possible to stop the process. But somewhere along the line, the equipment that were seized, you know, are being given back to their rightful owners. And unfortunately, this is getting back to the field. You know, given the recalcitrant nature, now they are operating the night. They are broken away from operating the day, and the operations is in the night. And we are actually drawing up a plan to deal with them through the National Security Council. So that is what is going. The first phase is gone, and the second phase is going to deal drastically with anybody doing mining. And this is an opportunity to sound a note of warning to all those who are engaged in these illegal activities, that when your excavator is taken, it will be confiscated soon in some way to support the operations of the National Security.
Mr. Abrams, I'm not sure if this will deter the Galamseyans. If the dispatch of security personnel has not really been able to stem out this Galamsey menace, I'm not sure if threats about confiscating their equipment will deter them anyway. But would you say, and would it be a fair judgment if somebody said that institutions like the Water Resources Commission, which have been mandated to protect these water bodies, have failed in their mandates? Is it fair to say?
We are actually a very small organization. We are still expanding, and we are developing our systems further. And so far, we haven't done badly. We have tried to protect some water bodies, not all, because currently we are not in all the regions and all the watersheds in Ghana. We are still expanding. And the situation as it is, we are not there alone in regulating mining activities. We are there with the Minerals Commission, with EPA, and all the other organizations that are supposed to be working. Sometimes in our efforts to enforce law, you realize that even police personnel or prosecutors who are supposed to prepare charges against people do not know the law. So you have to also go back to train military and police personnel on some of the relevant laws relating or regarding the control of watersheds and then the environment at all. So these are efforts which are being implemented, and we are making efforts to ensure that we don't lose all the water resources. Currently, in some of the water sheds, when you visit, for example, the Densu Basin and the fear of the areas around the water, there is no Galamsey activities going on there, and that is what we have tried to protect. It doesn't mean that within the period people have not made efforts to really do Galamsey. Recently, we have to terminate one application to do mining at the very source of the Densu River, and that is what we are doing. Around the major lake, you might have heard of some demolitions in collaboration with the National Security Council. What is happening is that we can't continue to keep the military personnel there because it's very expensive, as I said.
Right.
So what is happening is that the moment we run out of the resources to keep them there, and then we hope that the general public will desist from continuing the building. People have gone back.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Then it has now become another issue to build, another issue to tackle. So recalcitrance from the general public is also another issue, because law enforcement at sometimes can be very, very expensive.
Right.
And we are actually marshalling the resources. We are also organizing ourselves.
Right. Thank you very much, Ronald Abrahams. Ronald Abrahams is coordinator of programs at the Densu River Basin and also with the Water Resources Commission. And I'll be trying to find out from him whether it is fair to say that the Water Resources Commission has failed in its mandate to protect the water bodies, because we've had to wait till this time when the issue is actually out of hand to deal with it. Then I find it quite curious. But anyway, that is about Galamsey. That seems to be going on. We were talking about the president's targeting Chibi as the headquarters of Galamsey and trying to engage the issue. Now, let me bring you back to the capital now. We're going to Circle, Kwame Nkrumah Circle, and at the interchange there is a construction there. As you know, it received a massive outdrawing before it started. Now we are told that construction work there is hampering the flow of traffic, and you will recall earlier in this year that the Accra mayor himself was there directing traffic, because Circle in itself, even before the construction, was so choked. Now we understand that the construction works there has even made it worse. Let's quickly go to Ya Jemfi, who is there to bring us some live pictures and to show us exactly what the situation there is, so that if you're at home and you want to leave, you probably want to use an alternative road instead of using the Circle road. So let's cross over now to Ya Jemfi at Circle. Hello, yeah.
Hello, Gifty. Good morning, Gifty.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, we can see in your TVU feed right now that there is traffic there, but traffic at Circle really is no news. So, what more can you tell us about what's happening today?
Yeah, Gifty. The traffic situation here has always been the same, but it looks like now it is becoming so much, especially when you're coming from Acquah towards Circle. The traffic really starts from around Alajo, and when you're also coming from Accra, it looks like it starts way back from where Mr. Big's restaurant is. But it looks like the road has been expanded a bit close to where the former fountain was, but it's a bit open now. So now traffic from Accra down to Circle is open. So instead of them using the roundabout, now you come down straight to join Circle where the overhead is. And then we also learned that there's also now a diversion being created around the Kaneshi station, where drivers also coming from Acquah down going to Kaneshi could also use the place. We also learned that there's another diversion route currently being done around behind Neoplan Station where the railway is, but that one is yet to be opened. Gifted, that's the situation on the ground now.
And motorists, I'm sure, are very unhappy right now.
Yes, Gifty, because I think some people, when they get to where the construction is really taking place, they get confused. They don't know whether to go around the former fountain or to turn left, and there's a bit of confusion though, but I think they are now getting used to the road diversions now being done here.
Are there any signs or any persons there to try and coordinate this whole change, this diversion and change of routes?
Okay, Gifty, currently I can't see any road signs, but then the barricades, as in the plastic ones, you can see some on the road, but you don't see any one direction traffic though. It's only the workers on the ground here, but as to someone direction traffic, that one is really absent. It's only workers here we find on the road.
The AMA is probably yet to send in their men and probably go with the mayor himself. But what are the contractors they're telling you? Have you been able to speak with them, and what are they saying?
No, Gifty, we haven't been able to get to any official to talk to yet, but we can see construction endlessly ongoing, but it looks like concerns have also been raised that if more work could be done during the weekends and in the evening, because it looks like this place is a very busy road, so weekends when most people really don't use the place, they are wishing that more work could be done during those hours and those times to ease the traffic congestion on this particular road.
Now, yeah, if you should get any of the contractors, I think one of the questions that we could put to them is whether they've forgotten what the president told them when he was inaugurating this very project, because the idea was to work more, like you're saying, work more in the evening and work more on the weekends, although he was asking motorists to bear with them when they have to come to this situation or situations similar as this. So if we get the contractors, I think they should be able to answer why, first of all, there was no communication. Well, if we know, as far as we know, as you speak now, there wasn't any communication as to these diversions that have now been created. I think it's rather unfair to motorists. So if we should get any of the contractors, I think we'll be.
We are trying our best to get some of them.
Okay.
We don't find some of them on the ground now, but if we're able to get to them, we'll put those questions to them and then find a solution to it. Because if this thing is completed, it would really ease the congestion, especially in the capital. This being a major road linking the various cities to the capital. Thank you, Gifty.
Thank you very much. Fasua Jemfi is our correspondent, and she was speaking from the construction site at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, where we understand that the construction work there that is actually supposed to the final work is suspected to ease traffic there, but it has caused some kind of a congestion there. So if you are coming from, tells me that if you're coming from Achimota to Acquah, well, I don't know, you might want to use a different alternative route. I don't know the routes there very well, but you might want to help yourself. And from Acquah to around Mr. Biggs, we understand the traffic is even worse there. There has been a diversion at the Kaneshi station at Circle, and there's also a diversion behind the New Plant station. So you want to look out for these diversions, and you want to look out for other routes that you can use if you don't want to get stuck in that traffic. But we will still be on this issue, and we'll get you some more updates on that. I'll take a very quick breather. When I return, we'll be talking about a very I don't know whether to call it interesting infection that has been on the loose, that we should be careful, we should be mindful, we should be concerned about. It is called the Ebola infection. Please stay. You're welcome to the Ebola section of the news desk. Well, it is called the Ebola virus, and it sounds funny, but it's not funny at all, because we understand that it is a dangerous virus. Now, this morning on AM show, we spoke to some experts, and they spoke extensively about the signs, the symptoms, the signs, the symptoms that you should be looking out for. Dr. Acquah Denchua is up next with that information, and I think that you should pay very serious attention to this.
Being told that the country or the health service is on a national surveillance system, what does it mean?
What it means is that we put our teams on the alert to look out for certain diseases like Ebola and other things. So we are on the alert to inform the health facilities, we inform the doctors, and then we get in the technical committee to meet, and then we send out the signs and symptoms so that everybody will know that any new case we arrest it immediately for any spread.
What is this virus or disease all about, and what form is it in?
Well, it's a hemorrhagic fever. In other words, it's a viral disease which causes fever and then bleeding tendencies in the person, and then quickly leads to death. And it's usually in the eastern part of Africa. But now, from what we hear, it's moved to the western side, and it's moving slowly towards Ghana area. And with this traveling, people moving up and down, it's very important that we now put our borders right, and then screen people and get the necessary resources waiting for it.
So it is not yet in Ghana, is that it?
No.
Okay. But we are just on the lookout. So what should people look out for?
Well, what people should be looking at is the history of travel. If somebody has traveled, come back with fever, and then the fever comes with bleeding tendencies, some small prick, and then you find blood swelling on the skin, and then you find some blood within the gums and so forth, vomiting, then you suspect. It looks like malaria, but then it goes beyond. The malaria doesn't cause that kind of bleach, but this one does.
Is it curable?
No, okay, we contain it by taking care of you, by giving these vitamins and fleas and other things. And not everybody dies. Normally the death rate, sometimes 50%, sometimes it can go as far as 90%.
But do I get the understanding that you're living with it for the rest of your life?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, it completely, it goes away. There are a lot of viral disease comes that way. I mean, the moment you get out of the system, because it's an infectious disease, then it goes away. It means your body immune system has overcome it.
Are children at risk?
Well, everybody is at risk, and that is why we are educating people to be washing their hands and then disinfecting, and every time should not be too many handshakes, and then be handling the people who are sick when you don't know exactly what you're supposed to be. Supposed to go to the hospital early time, and then help us in the surveillance and inform the medical authorities if somebody comes and showing something like that.
Dr. Acquah Dencho, at what point do such outbreaks become a public health concern?
It is a public health concern when even one person comes out, because one person has the potential of spreading the disease. You know, it's not known in Ghana here. So if it comes, it's like a virgin land. Fire gets into a forest area, it just blaze. But this one is the same way. So we look out for it, because you see that when it went to these other countries, within a short time they reported 30 deaths, 60 deaths, kind of thing. So it means we have to be on the lookout. And normally when you are on the lookout and you prepare, you're able to contain it and arrest it, because then you condone those areas where the disease are, and then you make sure that you give barrier nursing to the affected individual. It's when we don't know about it, that is where the problem lies.
The disease has been reported in Guinea and Sierra Leone, and indeed in Guinea, they've banned the sale and consumption of bats. What are we banning in Ghana? Are we banning anything at all?
Well, I think it's just warning us that bats, we should be careful of handling bats. I think we should. It's that we haven't got the disease yet. So, but it's better we move away from bats and handling monkeys and those kind of things.
What sort of surveillance is being undertaken in the border towns?
Now, we'll hold a technical meeting today with the WHO. And normally across the border, what we do is that when people come and we know that they are from the other areas and show that signs and symptoms, then they are put in isolation. Samples to be taken to the laboratory to cross-check that it's not Ebola. If it is, then they will be isolated and then be treated until they are okay.
So the Ebola virus there, Dr. Acquah Dencho has been explaining how we can contain it. But information that we have actually is that it started in Guinea and it has spread to Liberia, which is why we should be worried, because we all appear to be within the same region. And so I'm sure the health authorities will be looking into this issue and trying to get solutions, because that's what we need. I also understand from what Dr. Acquah Dencho said that if you are a bat eater, if you happen to be a bat eater, you're more susceptible to getting this virus. So we hope that it doesn't spread so far, but we will still be on that issue and we will follow it and get you some more updates as to how to take care of yourself. Now, Pressure Group Alliance for Accountable Governance, AFAG, is calling for a probe into the $306 million allotted for the Ridge Hospital expansion project here in Acquah. The group, in a statement, said it is, quote, alarmed at a recent report at the Ridge Hospital and shocked at the amount of money that is supposedly being spent on the expansion work at the Ridge Hospital, when clearly the struggling country will lose up to $85 million. On the phone to explain really what their problem is with this expansion project is Acquah's Arnold Boateng. He is the General Secretary for the group. Good morning to you, Arnold.
Yeah, good morning.
Now, what's your evidence that the country stands to lose $85 million if this expansion project progresses?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me say that Acquah supports the renovation process and any other project that the government embarks upon to build hospitals across the country. We believe that the nation needs hospitals. What we are against is the fact that people are using a good project to rip the nation off. In the case of the Ridge Hospital renovation is one particular point, one particular case in point.
Okay.
Our evidence stands for the fact that the project announced, the expansion from 400, 200 to 662, that's only 400 beds addition, and the building of 2 theaters, and the renovation of the place, based upon our own assessment, is not up to the $1 million that is being touted about. Either figure is correct, and we are told that figure has been approved by Parliament. And we will challenge any independent body to come out with a different assessment. I tell you, if Joy FM commissions an independent expert to evaluate the project on item by item basis, on phase by phase basis, we come out to around a figure of 100 million, 140 million. The rest, in our opinion, are things that is going into people's pockets. Where you think there has to be further investigation to save the nation from losing such whooping amount to unscrupulous characters.
Have you seen an itemized bill yourself of this project?
Yeah, we've seen the items involved, but the quotations, the price and financial prices, which could be verified by any other independent. We've known the projects, the items involved, the dimensions of the project. Acquah knows it, and it's public, and that anybody could assess and verify. We've seen it, and the cost attached to the project is not $300 million as Parliament has approved. It's way below that. And any independent assessor could look at it, and I bet you they'll concur with what Acquah has come up with, that the figure is not up to $300 million.
So who have you petitioned? I'm sure this is a serious issue that you can petition quite a number of institutions here in the country to deal with or look at.
Yeah, we've not petitioned anybody. I was saying it is not something that, but Parliament has already passed it. Any delays, as someone was telling us, will lead to a further judgment debt. So the only person in the country now who can have a say on it is the president. That's why we appeal directly to him to veto the whole project and send it back to Parliament for further debate on the issue. When Parliament opens up the case once again, and the minority are allowed to fully get involved in the debate, and if the majority will even look upon the policies of Ghana and have a change of heart, they will debate the issue, debate the prices, and I tell you the figure will be beaten down directly, and the nation can save money. I just read this morning that there's a virus coming across the country, and the nation does not have money to buy even vaccines in case it reaches Ghana. And now we're taking loans from other sources to build a project to forestall some of these things, and it's going to some people's pockets. That is something that we'll have to fight against. So the president now has the ball in his court. If indeed he is true to his word that he wants to fight against corruption, if he wants to be honorable to his oath of office, then this is a clear case for him to step up and be a president for the nation and stop this project once and for all. Because we believe that if it is not stopped, the nation will lose more than $85 million. Come to think of it, $85 million can do so much for this nation that we cannot even think about. It can build 3 or more hospitals across the country, or can even expand other hospitals across the region. In Tamale, it can do so many things for the nation. So we believe that the only person now who must act is the president. And if he doesn't act, then the nation will have to take note of it and then think otherwise the next time he stands for re-election.
Beyond fighting this battle in the media, Arnold, where else is the association, or where else is the accountable governance caucus looking at?
We want to wait for about a week to give the president space for him to act on it. If he does not act on it,
we will have to petition a Speaker of Parliament for him to take the issue from bottom up and move and approach the President for him to do the right thing. And then, but I think that the media is our best friend and the nation is our best friend on this issue. Once we're able to also arouse public interest on this issue, the characters behind the deal who are planning to rip the nation off will think twice, and they may allow the issue to come back to Parliament, and we can have a better debate on it and save the nations and millions of dollars.
Right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Acquah's Arnold Boateng is the General Secretary for Alliance for Accountable Governance, and they have a serious issue with the $306 million amount that has been allotted for the Rich Hospital expansion. They believe that out of this $306 million, some $85 million is going to go into some unscrupulous pockets, and they are calling on the President to step in this situation and act, because once it has gone through Parliament, the President is the only one who can revoke, if you like. Now, we've been trying to speak to the director at the Rich Hospital for some information. We're unable to get through to him. We're also trying to get Tony Goodman so that we get the other side of the issue, but we will follow up on this one, and I'm sure during News Today we should get some further answers. You're still on News Desk, and we've been dealing with a lot of issues here. One of the issues that I spoke to you that we're unable to tackle is the ranking of the WASI schools, but we will do that. We will surely have some more time to do that. We will also address the issue on News Today, and I'm smiling because a lot of people are very passionate about the schools that they attended, and since those schools are dropping in quality, if you like, it is quite an interesting situation. But my name is Gifty Ando Apia, and I've been sitting in for Kevin Nyamano here on News Desk. The issue that we've been talking about today is Galamsey in the eastern region. President Mahama has tagged Chebi as the headquarters of Galamsey in Ghana. We try to engage that issue and see the extent of destruction and what can be done about it. Also, the Rich Hospital expansion, Acquah wants the $306 million project probed, because they think that some $85 million out of that money is going into some individual corrupt pocket. We weren't able to tackle the issue about the WASI, but we spoke about what could be contract killings that are happening in this country. On that note, I say many thanks for your time. Many thanks for your time. Do stay, because at 12 we will bring you News Today.